Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 41 of the Pichu London Cup Series. Today we're at Kansas Speedway for the running of the Superstar Batteries 400. On the pole will be the 24 of Priya McShane, and on the outside will be the number 9 of Nathan Ormond. In row 2 is the 96 Coda Butcher and the number 20 of Maxwell Smart. Row 3 has Sharona Evans and the 10 and Chris Leone and the number 12 who won last week at Dover to advance to the next round of the playoffs. Robert Smith and Isaiah Bernesh make up row 4, and Daniel Bouchard and Zach Fitzwater make up row 5, and running out the playoff drivers are John Andrews and Ryan Durrani. And here's how the rest of the field will line up here in today's race. And this is the last race of round 2 of the playoffs here at Kansas, so anything goes here today. Who will lock his or her spot into the next round of the playoffs, and which 4 drivers will see their title hopes come to an end? So here are the points, by the way, heading into Kansas right now, as Maxwell Smart has the last spot to advance, and Coda Butcher is 7 points behind the cutoff line. So he really needs a good race here today. He starts in 4th, and Priya McShane, the pole setter, is also in the cutoff, 14 points below. John Andrews is 13 points below the cutoff line, and Isaiah Bernesh needs a miracle. He is 27 points below the cutoff line. So anything goes here at Kansas, as we're about to have the end of round 2 here with the green flag and the Superstar Batteries 400. We are green at Kansas. Maxwell Smart takes the lead. He gets the lead away from the 24. On the first lap, Sharona Evans also battling for the lead. She's going on the bottom. Ooh boy, they're getting loose. Oh boy, this is gonna be good. Oh, there's a crash behind them. Huge crash. Huge wreck. A huge crash behind them, and somehow, oh no, Leone spins, but he's already in the playoffs. Already won at Dover last week. He's probably the only playoff driver that was involved in the crash. And here it is. Big wreck. A lot of drivers taken out. This might be just a battle with the playoff drivers. So, that is interesting. That's weird. Sharona Evans still leads, but we'll see if she takes it under the caution. But first, let's take a look at what happened. Oh, drivers in the wall. And oh no, Bernesh is around. Isaiah Bernesh was involved. Oh no, Isaiah Bernesh was involved. Unbelievable. And the 6th car spins, and now looks like his playoff hopes might have just come to an end. Looks like Bernesh, he was again below the cutoff line. He was way below the cutoff line, the last among the remaining playoff drivers before this race. So that wreck is going to probably cost him a chance to make it to the next round. Sharona Evans leads after a lot of cars spin, and looks like Bazuki is still trying to get back on his feet. Isaiah Bernesh, it looks like his chances of moving on to the next round might have gone away after that wreck. Sharona Evans is going to be your leader under the caution, and she'll take the green as the leader. So Evans trying to move on to the next round with a win, and she'll take the green flag as the race leader. We're back underway. And Zachary Fitzwater going to 2nd place. He'll take 2nd spot away from Johnny Gardner. What a run that Gardner's having. He's suddenly in 3rd. And here comes Quinn Porter, also trying to pull off an upset victory today. John Andrews, Robert Smith also battling for some key points. Trying to gain ground on the point standing here. Trying to get those key points to have them move on to the next round. And here comes Nathan Ormond with a nice move down below. Wow, John Andrews was in the wall hard. Not doing so great. And now he's losing positions again. John Andrews right now, he stands below the cutoff line, and he really does not need a race like this at this point to have him move on to the next round. Andrews is struggling now, way up high, still not trying to get back on. He's still not getting back up on his feet, and things are not looking too good for that 21. And I think another caution is out, I believe. Van Tracy Battle goes around with Chris Leone. I think Leone knew that he was already in last week with that win at Dover, and he's just going all out now at Kansas. Wow, that's surprising. Anyway, the 10 of Sharona Evans continues to lead, and Quinn Porter just moved up to the second spot under the caution. Let's see if any drivers take pit stops nearly halfway through. There's Robert Smith, Zach Fitzwater in the top 5, and Nathan Ormond, Maxwell Smart, Daniel Bouchard, Coda Butcher, Ryan Durante are in the top 10. And now they're going to be taking their pit stops. So this is going to be huge for many of these drivers trying to gain spots on pit road, trying to collect those critical playoff points here, because it is the cutoff race for round 2. 4 drivers will be eliminated after this race from playoff contention, so every position matters. And here we go, everybody on the pit road under caution. We see a couple drivers stay out. Oh no, wait, Don Falconer just stayed out, and Zachary Fitzwater's out first off pit road, and Isaiah Bernesh also stays out, but I think he's already a lapped car, and so is Don Falconer. They're already lapped cars, yeah, so yeah, they stayed out, but Zach Fitzwater came out first off pit road. Coda Butcher and then Sharona Evans. So Zach Fitzwater with a fast pit stop is going to be out first off pit road. He's going to start behind the lap car, but he's going to be starting ahead of the lap car as well. Could that be an advantage? And that's not going to work. Already swarmed quickly by Coda Butcher on the restart, and Butcher leads. Coda Butcher in front. Sharona Evans, Robert Smith, and Fitzwater are in the top 4, and there's 5th place. And look at Quinn Porter gaining on the 4 car. And Quinn Porter makes the move. He's in. Zach Fitzwater nearly in the wall. He's losing positions. Oh, Zach Fitzwater not running so well. The strategy of having like no tires, I guess, didn't work. And now he's dropping back. He could lose some critical points here at the end. And Sharona Evans just retook the lead almost instantly. And another caution is out. And with just 12 laps to go, looks like Dmitry Baranovsky might have brought out the caution. I think he did. There you see him right now battling with Pichu and Colin Francis. And then look at this. They went around. 42 goes around on the apron and slides down, and then moments later, Pichu went up into the wall. Yeah, right there, Francis, and Pichu gets forced up into the wall by Rufus Langerick. And that's what brought the caution out once again. Sharona Evans leads the field back to the green. Just a handful of laps remaining. Will she hold on and move on to round number 3 with the win? 8 to go at Kansas with the green flag waving again. Coda Butcher in the second place. He just took second and now he wants the lead. Can Coda Butcher clear? Look at Daniel Bouchard. 3 wide. Knows he needs to win and maybe move on. He might just move on points, but he wants to win and move on. And he's going to get the lead. And here comes Robert Smith. 7 laps to go at Kansas. And Robert Smith leads. Evans up in the wall. Evans is a trouble with Evans in the 10 car. Now she's dropping back up on the wall. And Robert Smith leads the race. Daniel Bouchard right behind him. And Rich Roy suddenly in 3rd. Quinn Porter, Nicky Maxwell, top 5 drivers. Porter gaining on the top 3. It might not be over yet. This race might not be over. Robert Smith trying to pull away and win and get into the next round. Think this would be his 4th win of the season. No, 3rd win of the season, I believe, if he hangs on. Daniel Bouchard trying everything he can to gain on Robert Smith. He's got hope for a caution at this point. Rich Roy running 3rd and Quinn Porter running 4th. Oh, this could come down the final laps. 4 laps to go. Here comes Porter. 3rd place. He might get 2nd. And he's got it. He's not racing to make it to the playoffs. He's racing for a win. Robert Smith, this could help him out. This could help out Robert Smith pull away. Porter is in 2nd. And here comes Nikki Maxwell. Can she make a move into 2nd place? 3 laps remain. And Maxwell in the 2nd. Here comes Johnny Gardner. Can he win another race here today at Kansas? But he's only got 3 to go. And now Maxwell's closing in on Robert Smith. With 2 more laps remaining. Can Robert Smith hold off Maxwell and lock himself into round 3? Because Maxwell's gaining on that 88 very quickly. Here comes Maxwell. Can she make that move? Down the bottom. A lot of smoke there. Well, there must have been a spin, but no caution. We stay green. Here comes the white flag. Maxwell trying to pass. And the 88 car trying to hang on with the white flag. 1 to go. Here comes Porter and here comes Gardner. Down the bottom's got it. Smith gets up high. And Nikki Maxwell leads. Does Quinn Porter have one more chance? To the final corner. Here comes Porter. And he's not going to get her. And Nikki Maxwell will come off the final turn and win at Kansas. And Nikki Maxwell has done it again. The surprising team has won again here at Kansas. Nikki Maxwell takes the win. And the Melon Man machine is going to victory lane. What a race. Nikki Maxwell last lap pass on Robert Smith takes the win, and Robert Smith dropped down to 6 on 1 lap. Wow, what a race. What a turnaround. Unbelievable. It looked like Robert Smith was going to pull away with the win. But he dropped down to 6 on that last lap. But it might be enough points for him to make it to the next round. But man, must be a tough day for that 88. Almost having that win. And then losing it on the final laps. Just incredible race. Nikki Maxwell has won it. The 77 team with an impressive run for the win. An amazing finish for that 77 team. Nikki Maxwell collects another victory here in season 41 of the PLCS. And here's how the other playoff drivers did. Daniel Bouchard, he needed a good race for him to make it to the next round. He was above the cutoff, but not by much. But a 4th place finish, though, this might assure him of being into the next round. Same for Robert Smith in 6th. Ryan Durante finished in the 10th position, was actually tied with Sharon Evans coming into the points, but it looks like that it's safe to say that he might have enough points to make it to the next round regardless. Maxwell Smart finished in the 11th position outside the top 10. He was at the last spot above the cutoff, so he needed a race like this to have him stay alive in the playoffs, and he delivered an 11th position. We'll see if it's enough points for him to advance to the next round. John Andrews ended up in the 13th spot. He was well below the cutoff line, and we'll see if it's enough points for him to move on to the next round. Coda Butcher, 14th. He had led a few laps today, but Butcher, he thought he was going to get a better finish, but in the final laps, he ended up down to 14th. So, again, we'll have to wait and see if it will be enough points for him to advance. Nathan Ormond ended up 15th. and he was in the middle of the cutoff line, so we'll see if it's enough points for him to stay alive, or does he need some help for him to move on to the next round. Sharona Evans, as I mentioned earlier, came in tied in points with Ryan Durrani, but Evans ended up in the 20th position, so I think Durrani's going to have an advantage over Evans in the points, but I think in the end, both drivers might make it to the next round on points. Priya McShane ended up 21st, and the 24 team was below the cutoff line, so not a lot of points there, and it might be very close. It might be close to see who makes it to the next round. Zachary Fitzwater, he was leading early on and then dropped down to 30th position. So Fitzwater was a little bit above the cutoff, but not much, and we'll have to wait and see if he doesn't get bumped out. Chris Leone already was locked in with a win, 34th. And Isaiah Bernesh, 39th. We mentioned earlier that he was well below the cutoff line. He had the fewest points among the remaining playoff drivers entering today, and he ended up 39th, and it's safe to say that Bernesh will not make it to the next round of the playoffs. Despite 3 wins early in the season, he struggled in round 2, and now he will not be advancing, more than likely, he will not be advancing to round 2 of the playoffs. But we'll see who the rest of the field will be advancing to the playoffs, as we're about to reveal who will make it into round 3 of the playoffs. Alrighty guys, it's now time to add up all the points and see who will make it to round number 3. We know that Chris Leone won at Dover to lock himself into round 3, and now it's time to reveal the rest of the drivers that will join him in round number 3. And we're going to add them manually. Sharona Evans, 17 points at Kansas. She had 3,073 coming in, so her new total is 3,090 points. Ryan Durrani came in with 3,073 points as well, tied with Evans, but it looks like that tie will be broken. He gained 27 points, and so he has 3,100 points. So safe to say Durrani might be in, and I think Evans might be in as well. We'll have to add the rest of the points and see. Robert Smith, 3,063, 31 points earned at Kansas. His new total is 3,094 points. So Robert Smith has overtaken Sharona Evans, in fact, and he might be into the next round. Nathan Orman at 3,050 going in, and his new total now stands at 3,072 points. And Zach Fitzwater didn't have a great day, 7 points only in Kansas, came in with 3,048, and so it'll be 3,055 points he ends up with in round 2. Daniel Bouchard, he had the highest finish among the playoff drivers in 4th at Kansas. 33 points for him. He did pretty solid. So 3,080 points for him, and he is now ahead of Nathan Orman in points. So Daniel Bouchard needed those big points, and he got them. And now we get to the cutoff at this point. Maxwell Smart came in with 3,044. His new total stands at 3,070 points. So Zach Fitzwater is now in the cutoff at 3,055 points. And it looks like right now, for now, Maxwell Smart is ahead of Zachary Fitzwater. So now let's add up the rest of the points. And here we go. First up, Isaiah Bernesh. We know he won't be in. 3,017, only gained 1 point. That's 3,018. So Isaiah Bernesh has been eliminated from round 2. John Andrews at 3,031 points coming in, and his new total now stands at 3,055 points, and he is now tied with Zachary Fitzwater for the final position in round 3. But we haven't added the other 2 yet, so let's see what happens. Priya McShane, 3,030 points. 24 came in at Kansas and earned 16 points at Kansas. So the total now stands at 3,046 points. It will not be enough for Priya to move on to round 3. Finally, Coda Butcher. He needs to get more than 3,055 points to move on into the next round. And guess what? he has enough. His new total after 23 points earned at Kansas with 3,037 points before Kansas. His new total now stands at 3,060 points. And guess what? He's overtaken both Zach Fitzwater and John Andrews in terms of the points. So, Butcher has the final spot into the playoffs. And that means that we do have our 8 drivers moving on to the next round. And Zach Fitzwater, John Andrews will not move on into round number 3 of the playoffs. And a total shocker for those 2 consistent drivers to not make it into the playoffs here in round number 3. And Zach Fitzwater waits another season to get his first title in the PLCS. So it's safe to say that this battle was real close. But I'm about to do some additions, and I'm just curious to see who would have won the tiebreaker if Zach Fitzwater had been, and then John Andrews, I should say, had Zach Fitzwater and John Andrews stayed tied for the final position in the terms of the points. And if there was a tie like that, then the driver with the highest finish among the races in that round would have moved on over to the next round. So let's take a look a little bit. Just give me about 1 second. So the best finish that Zach Fitzwater had during the races round was 7th. And the best finish that John Andrews had was 10th. So had these two been tied for 8th at the end after round 3, Zach Fitzwater would have won the tiebreaker since he had the better finish among the races in the round in 7th. And the John Andrews had the best finish among those events in those round 2. John Andrews was 10th. So that would have been the tiebreaker. And just so you know, that's how we broke the tie for ties like this in terms of the playoffs. So Zach Fitzwater was the one that came up 5 points short of making it to the next round. And so did John Andrews. So they have been eliminated with Priya McShane and Isaiah Bernesh. So we have our 8 drivers into the next round. Chris Leone, Ryan Durrani, Robert Smith, Sharon Evans, Daniel Bouchard, Nathan Ormond, Maxwell Smart, and Coda Butcher. So it's going to be a fun round 3 events. Round 3 is going to be a lot of fun to do. I hope you guys will enjoy and will join us. And until then, we will see you guys later.